Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Sheffield United. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to make some changes from the 3-2 win against Liverpool recently. So I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal. He obviously weren't in goal for the game against Liverpool, it was Dean Henderson. At right back, I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka. The two centre-halves, Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire. Eric Bailly missed the game against Liverpool. It was Victor Lindelof that played. But yeah, Bailly needs to play in this one because since Bailly started playing again, he has been very, very good. My only element of concern about Eric Bailly is that he's injury prone. Left back, I'm going to go with Alex Telles. I think he's going to come in for Luke Shaw. Obviously, Luke Shaw played in the game against Liverpool in the FA Cup. And he had a very, very good game, Luke Shaw. Got forward well, defensively good. Caused a lot of problems on that left-hand side. And Luke Shaw's really, really improving as a Man United player. But again, my element of concern about him is that he's injury prone. But yeah, so I think Telles needs to be given a chance in this game against Sheffield. Alex Telles hasn't played as much as I expected and a lot of Manchester United fans expected, but don't forget at one point Telles did have COVID. The midfield, I'm going to go with Matic and Scott McTominay. McTominay did obviously play in the game against Liverpool in the Cup. I thought he struggled to get into the game. He got dispossessed quite a few times and he was crowded too much. Ahead of them, in the number 10, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes obviously scored the winner in the game against Liverpool. It was a fantastic free kick. By the way, Bruno Fernandes has come out and said that he does not need a rest. Now, prior to the game against Fulham, Solskjaer in his press conference defended Bruno Fernandes and denies that he needs a rest. But Fernandes didn't start against Liverpool, obviously came off the bench. On that left-hand side, I'm going to go with Anthony Martial. I think he'll start this one, Martial, because he didn't start the game against Liverpool, but he did come on against Liverpool. On that right-hand side, I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. I think he'll start this game. Greenwood obviously started against Liverpool. Greenwood had a very, very good game. Obviously got his name on the score sheet and also got an assist, and he did have an early half chance. And up top, I'm going to go with Edinson Cavani. Edinson Cavani started the game against Liverpool in the Cup. I thought he was quiet for the vast majority of the game, but credit to Cavani, he was the one that won the free kick, that obviously led to our winning goal from Fernandes. And he also hit the post. So that's how I think we could line up against Sheffield United. Earlier on today, I give you the news on Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford sustained a knee injury against Liverpool. He came off with, 4 minutes to go. He is going to have a scan on his knee. It is top against bottom. We are undefeated in our last 10 games against Sheffield United in all competitions. Winning 9 and drawing 1. Sheffield United last beat us in the league in August 1992. We did beat them last season at Old Trafford 3-0. Anthony Martial had scored a hat-trick. And we're beating them at Bramall Lane earlier on in the season 3-2. I can assure Sheffield United are going to be getting relegated. They've only won one game in the Premier League so far this season. And like I said in my preview, I'm surprised that Chris Wilder has not been sacked. Chris Wilder has been Sheffield United manager since 2016, so he has been at Sheffield now over 4 years. To his credit though, he got Sheffield United all the way from League One to the Premier League. Sheffield United were good last season. I think did they finish 8th or 9th? Before Sheffield United, I think Chris Wilder was at Northampton. He's managed Oxford before. He's managed Halifax and he's also managed Alfred Town. Sheffield have got some good players though in their team. Obviously they've got that McBurney. He's one of their key players. I think he's been out with injury. They've also got Norwood. He's one of their key players. They've also got Musset. He's one of their key players. I think he's out with injury. They've got Lundstrom, one of their key players. They've got that John Fleck, who's one of their key players. They've also got McGoldrick. They've got Billy Sharp. They've got Osborne. I think he's out with injury. They've got Robinson. He's out with injury. O'Connell. He's out for the season. They've got that Berg. He's out with injury until March. Egan. He's suspended. So there you go. If we do beat Sheffield United, we will extend our unbeaten run in the Premier League to 14. The last team to beat us in the Premier League was Arsenal. At the start of November, they did beat us 1-0 at Old Trafford, and that was Arsenal's first win at Old Trafford in the league since 2006. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does deserve a lot of credit, with the progress he's made. I think performances are improving. I think certain players are improving. We've been exceptional away from home in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We are unbeaten in our last 17 Premier League away games. If we do beat Arsenal at the end of this month, we will break the record from the 98-99 season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got us to the 5th round of the FA Cup. We do play West Ham. We are the second most successful team in FA Cup history because we have won 12. Earlier on this season, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Obviously lost that to Manchester City 2-0. I think Solskjaer's decision making is now starting to improve. Because there has been games where he showed tactical flexibility, but there again there has been a lot of games where he has been tactically naive. Despite our reluctance to back Solskjaer with transfers, I still think he has made good signings as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the club. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January of last year, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of last year, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo Traore. And this January transfer window is his 5th transfer window as Man United manager. Earlier on this month, he gave us an update on our January transfer plans, and he did admit that January signings are unlikely, but he admits there could be more departures. We've already seen a lot of players leave the club since Solskjaer got recommended in. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season. He got us qualification for the Champions League. He got us third and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. And we are top of the Premier League at the moment. And no one expected us to be in this position, of how poor we was earlier on in the season. We can win the Premier League, and Solskjaer has been playing mind games in recent weeks, because he did say prior to the game against Burnley, we must stay humble and not think we've cracked it if we go top. He said after our 1-0 win against Wolves earlier on in the season that we're not in the title races yet, but if we are still competing up there in March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. If we win the Premier League, then I can assure Solskjaer is a long-term manager. And it would be a fantastic achievement. If we win the league, it'll be our first Premier League title since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. There's 3 trophies we can pursue this season. We can win the league, the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. Solskjaer knows how important it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. We deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer, because he could have easily been sacked as Man United manager, because we've enjoyed bad periods under him. But when we was enjoying them bad periods, Ed Woodward still came out and showed his support for Ole. He's done that several times, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. Like I said, our board have got a soft stance on Solskjaer, with him obviously being a club legend. And a lot of United fans have been demanding the board out for a long time, because the board has been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years, because the board, you can say, haven't backed any of our managers enough that we've had since Ferguson left, and mistakes have been made, since Ferguson left. Woodward's been at the club since 2012, and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. But yeah, Solskjaer has received a lot of criticism at Manchester United, especially earlier on in the season. But, with how good we've been in recent months, our perceptions have slowly started to change on him. And I think, reflecting on the progress he's made, I think he's on course to earn himself a new contract. Maybe at some point this year we'll enter negotiations over getting him a new contract at the club. Solskjaer's more than halfway through now his 3-year contract, because he signed a 3-year contract when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. Yeah, this is currently Solskjaer's 2nd full season as Manchester United manager. He's been Man United manager for over 2 years. And reflecting now on he's been at the club, he's gained some managerial experience. Obviously, hasn't got a proven pedigree, has he? Obviously, especially when he first came in, he didn't have a proven pedigree. Because obviously, before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, and before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was disastrous. And I think Solskjaer has learned quite a bit on the job. And Solskjaer outlasts Frank Lampard. It got confirmed earlier on today that Frank Lampard was sacked from Chelsea after 18 months in charge. A lot of Chelsea fans think that it's the wrong decision to sack Frank Lampard, but Chelsea have been in a bad vein of form. Chelsea must have spent like £300 million last year. By the way, Chelsea have appointed Thomas Tuchel in as their replacement for Frank Lampard. But I think Frank Lampard getting sacked from Chelsea is actually good news for us, because it gives us an opportunity to be better in this transfer market. Chelsea have sacked God knows how many managers. Solskjaer's managed over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions. If you put the stats into circulation now, you can say he's the best manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. But he has been in the old Man United back. And, we've come from behind in a lot of games this season. When Solskjaer got appointed in, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. He's still inheriting some of the deadwood now. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. Only a few players here now from Louis van Gaal era. There's only one player here from the Moyes era, and there's only 2 players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We're not known as a sacking club, even though we sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. He enjoyed the shortest tenure at the club. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup, and we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning 3 trophies in his first season. But it's good to see consistency now from Man United, because we didn't see consistency for a long time, did we? And we are getting glimpses of the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said, Solskjaer, or no manager at Man United, or no manager in general, is going to replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. But at least, we are where we want to be now. If it wasn't for Ferguson, we wouldn't have hardly had any success, because Ferguson brought success, and in the 27 years he was with us, he won 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. Before, Ferguson was inconsistent, because we weren't good under Ron Atkinson, we weren't good under Wilf McGuinness, and we weren't good under Frank O'Farrell. In fact, we got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in 1974. That's 40 odd year ago now. I think, by the way, this year we are looking to make around 4 signings to complete our squad overhaul, and I've named the 3 positions where Man United need to strengthen up. I think we need a striker, we need a world-class midfielder, and we also need a centre-half. I've already gone through with you what Man United need to do to secure the Premier League title, and that's make at least 1 more signing. Good performances have also got to persist. Obviously, got to keep key players in form. Solskjaer's got to keep getting his selections right. Home form's got to improve as well, because we haven't been great at home this season. I think we've only won 4 or 5 games at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. So yeah, few things we have got to do. We'll be looking to make some signings in the summer transfer window. But yeah, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. You already know the news on Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig. We want Dayot Upamecano to partner Harry Maguire in our back line. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Man United to beat Liverpool to the signing of Upamecano. He recently said that Man United and Liverpool go head-to-head in the race for the player. But Sky Sports recently said that Bayern Munich are in advanced talks for Upamecano. Bayern Munich's CEO, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, confirmed Bayern Munich's interest. And it says Bayern Munich were the front runners Earlier on this season, RB Leipzig CEO came out and said we sell our top performers again if that makes financial sense. It'll cost around 55 million up Upamecano. It says was preparing to put a bid in of 55 million. But we know at the end of the season he's going to be available for £38 million because that's when his release clause does become active. The reason Liverpool wanted him is to put him alongside Van Dijk, but obviously Liverpool have got their two main centre-halves out. That's why obviously they want to recommend a centre-half in. You already know the news on Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli. It recently said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reportedly wants to sign Kalidou Koulibaly. And Kalidou Koulibaly is keen on a move to Man United. He's been on Solskjaer's agenda for quite some time. Napoli's owner recently slapped a £100 million asking price on him, but he said he will not leave this month. Kalidou Koulibaly is regarded as one of the best defenders in the world. Imagine him alongside Harry Maguire. They complement each other really, really well. Kalidou Koulibaly's been at Napoli for over 6 years. He's got a contract with them till 2023. Napoli paid 6.5 million for him from Genk. Declan Rice, now there's a good chance he will come to Man United because I don't think now Chelsea are in for him, obviously with the sacking of Frank Lampard. Don't forget, Frank Lampard wanted Declan Rice at Chelsea and Frank Lampard was infuriated when he missed out on him. This was stemmed from ESPN not so long ago, saying that Man United is set to rival Chelsea for him and Liverpool have recently been in for him. Narratives recently said that West Ham are considering lowering their asking price for Declan Rice to 50 million, but initially West Ham valued him at £80 million. I'd take Declan Rice at United. He's well proven in the Premier League. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, and I think we need a holding midfielder. And he's got a lot of development in him because he is only the age of 22. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. There's also an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. Before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years. A couple of days ago, I give you the news on Christian Eriksen. Already know the news on Erling Haaland. But yeah, like I say, we're going to get rid of quite a few players this year. But there's also a lot of players that we will keep at the football club. We're certainly going to keep Marcus Rashford because Marcus Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then, he has become an integral part of our team. Rashford can play on the left, or he can play on the left or right, and he can play up top, but I think he's more effective out wide, so we need to keep him there. We'll certainly keep Edison Cavani. I think Cavani will see out his contract at Man United. Not so long ago, Cavani was serving a 3-match ban for the racist comment that he put on social media last month. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed that he had apologised for that. Ollie was talking about Cavani earlier on this season, saying that he's definitely a starter and we're already looking to extend his contract, reflecting on his good performances. And Solskjaer revealed the first thing that Cavani asked him when he came into the club, and that's whether he could wear the number 7. We did get him last summer on deadline day, signed a 1-year contract with Man United with an option of a 2nd year, and we got him on a 3. I think we'll keep Anthony Martial for at least this season or the next couple of seasons, but Anthony Martial has been out of form for the vast majority of this season. He's had chances, but he just hasn't been clinical enough. There has been a lot of United fans now saying that Martial needs to be dropped. Martial can play up top and he can play out wide. A lot last season he was playing centrally. Solskjaer was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. But he was good last season and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Martial's been at the club now for over 5 years. We'll also keep Mason Greenwood. I think he's the foreseeable future for Man United. He's Greenwood. Like I said, he did well against Liverpool recently, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him this season because he hasn't played as much as I expected him to. Don't forget, at the start of this season, we give him that number 11 shirt. We'll also keep Bruno Fernandes. Like I've said to you, Bruno Fernandes has made a difference in this team. Predominantly plays as a number 10. Most of Bruno Fernandes' games has been very consistent. There's only been the odd couple of games where he has looked off the pace. Fernandes won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances, and he's been at the club now almost a year. Fernandes don't only score goals, he provides assists and he does create chances. But he's our best player and he's the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Donny van de Beek will also keep him for this season, at least. There's been rumours of him leaving. ESPN recently said that we rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek. We're basically blocking him from leaving on loan in this January window. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made an admission regarding Donny van de Beek before the cup game against Liverpool, and he said that Donny van de Beek is unhappy at Man United with his lack of game time. But now Solskjaer's promised Donny van de Beek more game time. Van de Beek played in the game against Liverpool. Most of Donny van de Beek's appearances have come from the bench, and he's only made 2 starts in the league, and that was against West Ham and Southampton. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million from Ajax, paid £35 million up front with £5 million in add-ons, and he's got a contract with us till 2025, and he can play in 3 different roles. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder, he can play as a number 10, and he can play out wide. A lot of United fans are saying he should be put as a box-to-box midfielder. I think we'll also keep Fred, because Fred's really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He showed good attacking intent, his defensive contributions being good. I just think he needs to work on the reading of his game. That's my concern about him at the moment. Fred's been at the club now a few years. We got Fred in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. We'll also keep Scott McTominay. He can have good games, but he's also enjoyed bad games. McTominay's best game in a Man United shirt was the 6-2 win against Leeds. Scored twice and got an assist in that game, and he did well in the Watford game in the FA Cup, 3rd round, scored in that one. We could be keeping Paul Pogba now, like I've updated you on. Because it said after the Fulham game that Paul Pogba is considering making a U-turn at the club. That means stay. Paul Pogba could end up signing a new long-term contract at Man United. I think a decision is going to be made on his future at the end of this season. Paul Pogba looks certain to leave, but, you know, he's now inspiring our title challenge. But to his credit, you know, his performances have recently been good. He's done well since he come back from that ankle injury that he had earlier on in the season. So, yeah, we'll keep Paul Pogba, possibly. We'll definitely keep Luke Shaw, because like I've mentioned, he's really improved. Obviously, keep Alex Telles. Keep Harry Maguire. He's improved as well as Harry Maguire. But it still wasn't worth the £80 million that were paid for him. We'll keep Eric Bailly, despite the fact he's injury prone. We'll keep Wan-Bissaka. And we're going to keep De Gea, you know, because De Gea is getting back to his best. David De Gea is going to remain our number one for at least this season. This is now David De Gea's 10th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant. So, you know, we have got good players. We've also extended a lot of contracts under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. So yeah, on my next video, I'm going to be giving you the news on Jesse Lingard, and I'm maybe giving you some news on Jadon Sancho. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.